This week on Coffin Fodder, you will truly be one of us if you listen to this week's episode of Coffin Fodder based on Tod Browning's 1932 curio, Freaks.
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
I like to dissect girls.
This is God.
We have such sights to show you.
Look at me, Damien. It's all for you.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
I see dead red.
Even in hell. Oh, yes. Oh, no tears, please.
They're here.
Here's Johnny.
Hello and welcome to episode 39 of Coffin Fodder. I am your host, Mike Warby, and I am joined by the clown with a heart of gold, Skeet, Mr. Kyle Mickleborough. Oh, I'm sure he'll be a very relatable protagonist. And of course, the strong man with the heart of evil, Mr. Brady Silger.
Hi, Fräulein.
Are you gonna take that guy's money, Brady?
Yes, son of a bitch.
Yes, and today we are here to talk about the oldest movie we've done yet, 1932 Tod Browning film, Freaks.
Slightly older than Mike.
Yeah, a little bit. By about 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is the oldest movie I've ever seen.
It's a fucking dime, man. I love this movie. I've watched this movie at least. This is not quite a Dustin Dillon situation where I've seen it like 40 times. I've seen it like at least 3 or 4 times, maybe 5.
Okay.
I mean, it's because it's you're in and you're out. You're 64 minutes with credits.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it one more time, to be honest. It's so short and I enjoyed it that's like, why wouldn't you?
You can watch it. You could watch it the time it takes to watch an episode of like fucking Stranger Things or whatever the fuck, right?
Right. I wish more fucking movies were an hour long.
Man,
Could you imagine if they fucking just trimmed it down?
just cut that romantic side plot. Just cut the shit. Get that romantic side plot the fuck out of here.
But yeah, I can move.
Or we don't need the part where you go to see your kids play or whatever, man.
I don't need the bathroom montage. I don't need just give me an hour movie that hits like this maybe does. I'm in.
To be fair, I just watched one battle after another, and that was like 3 hours long, and it fucking ruled.
Yeah, there's exceptions to anything. For the Freaks, I would never want an hour. Anyway, we're getting away.
Anyway, yes. But speaking of Freaks, we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about a movie called Freaks. So of course, Freaks is the Tod Browning movie. It's based on a 1923 short story called Spurs, and the only reason I bring that up is because it gives a little more detail as to what happened at the end. Because we just get a cut as they're approaching, and then we get the delivery.
Right.
The book. I believe it's a short story.
Neat. Well, I might have to look that up. That's cool. I didn't know.
Yeah, that gives you the sort of the answer for what actually happened in this movie.
The freak of it all.
Yes, Freak Party.
Freed me.
Oh, Diddy, what are we doing? Okay, yeah. So this is a film that follows, unsurprisingly, a group of carnival performers. We have some what you would call I don't want to call them regular people. Let's say not some non-disabled people, or I don't know,
Carny folk.
The crowds. I don't know. No, I mean because the actor, some of the main characters are not in the Freak Show. Yeah. So I don't know if you want to say regular people or let's just say I'll just say non-disabled people. So we've got Frozo the clown,
Right.
Venus, who is the sea lion trainer.
Okay.
And then Cleopatra is the beautiful trapeze artist.
Somehow not once did I realize she was a seal trainer. That's
There's only one scene where she.
I think it's in the intro. Sorry to interrupt that.
Well, that's fine. And then Hercules is the strongman. So who do we meet first in this movie?
Good fucking question.
We meet the guy that's showing off something that we don't see on screen.
Free device.
Yeah.
I'm glad you remembered that.
Doing like a show like a.
So yeah, the movie opens with someone like a barker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sort of.
Setting up, and over here we've got this, and over here we've got. Yeah, he's doing the classic carnival thing, but we don't see what he shows the people.
No,
we just hear them all go, "Oh no!" Woo, you know, all the gasps. You know, whatever.
Quite ghastly.
Yeah, what they're seeing. Indeed, and then that becomes our framing device, and then I think he says something like, you wouldn't believe how she became this way or whatever. And then it kind of cross-cuts into the story of the sale.
He's telling the story of a freak show at a freak show.
Well, it's like an oddities attraction. Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, unfortunately, there was a time where we would all just pay money to gawk at the weirdos. But here we are.
The Downtown John.
But yeah, this is a film that follows basically a conspiracy between two circus performers to kill another circus performer and steal his wealth. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we meet Frozo the clown, who is he's like our sympathetic central character.
Yep.
He's friends with all the members of the freak show, and we also meet Venus, who is like the seal trainer, and they are both friendly with the freak show. Meanwhile, we've got Cleopatra and Hercules, who are also performers, but they mock the freaks, very virulently, and then eventually they concoct a plan to kill one of the freaks.
Nasty motherfuckers.
Yeah, they're bastards.
Don't like them. Some real salt. You know what? Bitches. They're a bunch of dirty dogs.
Yes, they are. Dirty dogs is what they are.
Filthy.
Yeah.
Woof.
But yeah, so the central characters we gotta get to who in terms of the freaks,
The oddities.
I don't think there's I don't literally want to call them freaks. They're just we might as well because that's literally the movie. The movie.
There's not we're not using it as like a term of like we're trying to bash you. It's the
Yeah. So anyway, we've got the central freaks, the titular freaks that we have to cover are Hans. Hans is important because he's the one who they're building the blood against.
Yeah.
Hans is a little person
who's in love with Cleopatra.
Yeah, who's in love with Cleopatra. And he basically sees her attention as his ticket out of being a joke.
Yeah, if he can plan to rule woman, he won't be a freak.
Exactly.
Or he's seen as an equal. He believes he's an equal, and that would be like his status symbol.
Meanwhile, at first, she's just doing it for a laugh. Her and Hercules. Haha, look at how much...
Yeah, literally just making fun of how much the guy likes her.
Yeah. Ha, he thinks he could date a real woman.
Yeah. Look at this idiot in love with me.
Yeah, which is so cruel and
so gross.
Unnecessary. But she overhears Hans and his actual wife, who is also a little person named Frida, talking, and she mentions that you don't even know her. She might just want you for your fortune. Mm-hmm. And then that becomes that inspires the murder plot.
Yeah, then it becomes that.
So yeah, they concoct this plan. Once they realize he's got this fortune, they're actual lovers, Venus and Hercules.
No, it's Cleopatra and Hercules.
Or excuse me, Cleopatra.
I wish this was... Wait, never mind.
Venus is the hot one, Cleopatra's is the bitch.
Yeah, she's nasty.
That's the thing I noticed. Is Cleopatra supposed to be the beauty? Venus is pretty. She's a smoke show.
Yeah.
She's much prettier.
Way prettier.
I mean, obviously it helps that she's a likable, relatable character.
Cleopatra, that ugly bitch.
Versus like a cruel, nasty wench of a person.
Right.
But so they concoct this plan to try and murder him. The plan is for Cleopatra to get close enough to him that she could inherit his fortune.
Yeah, to now, because he's already shown that he loves her or is in love with her or whatever, really attracted to her, they're just going to use that against this poor fucking guy and then steal his money. Yeah. Kill him and steal his money? Jesus.
Yeah.
This is the real horror.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, this movie did actually make me pretty uncomfortable and feel really bad for Hans. So I was like, damn, this movie... for an old movie in a short one time, it worked.
Well, I think there's a lot of messages in this movie that are more relevant today than maybe they've ever been.
That's sort of how I felt about it, is the divide between the freaks and the normies is, the divide between people is more prevalent now than maybe not ever, but
also this is like with the rise of I don't want to get too crazy political.
No.
But of course, we've got the rise of the return of the Nazism.
Well, and
that's kind of going on in our society right now, and the white supremacy and whatnot. Mm. And Nazism is based on eugenics, and the idea of eugenics is that some people deserve to live, some people don't deserve to live.
Right.
Some people have value, some people don't have value.
Yes, there's a more perfect standard of human and a deviation from.
Yeah, and of course, everybody who fucking talks about eugenics looks like a human thumb. So,
yeah, and that's sort of what I meant when I was leaning towards how divided people are, and it was more like that. And like you said, we don't want to get into the politics of it all, but
yeah, no, I'm sure you, if anything, you came to this podcast to not Please stop talking about the horrible curtains. They never stop. Please stop.
Welcome to Trump and Fodder.
Fuck the true horror is opening your fucking Facebook feed. Chase that tooth.
Isn't that the reason why a lot of people get into horror movies? Because they don't want to. They want to see blood and gore. They don't want to see.
Certainly one of the appeals of horror movies, as we've talked about in the past, is that it can kind of do this, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer is your classic example, is where like every week everything that they're facing is a metaphor for something else.
Right, yeah. Yeah. And I think that's why this movie, as a 1932 movie, still felt like it was relatively fresh to me. Without the final thoughts territory, it was there was some moments where it showed its age, but the overall message was right there. Right.
There's sort of like an old school vaudeville sort of type of, like, the dialogue is very folksy and old school.
Well, it'll be just the scene cutting, right? Yeah, way it'll flip scenes, and then again, that's just how it was done, so it's fine. But
a lot of this movie is just us kind of hanging out with these characters and getting to know them. So we meet Madame Tetralini. So she is the I don't remember what her role is in the circus,
right?
But she's kind of the woman who looks after the freaks who don't have all of their
she's like their surrogate love.
Their intellectual faculties, mainly the pinheads. I don't know what their proper name is, but
that's what
they basically have childlike minds. Yeah, they dress like children, they think like children. So she sort of looks after them on top of whatever her other role in the circus is.
So I think she's. I don't want to say she's the ringmaster.
I'm gonna say fortune teller because her name is Madame Tetralini.
That could be
fortune. Yeah, would be my guess. But
that makes sense.
So yeah, we meet Madame Tetralini and the Pinheads. They, of course, all these characters have names, but there's too many characters. We're not going to be able to remember their names. So unfortunately, we're going to just be referring to them by their deformities to a certain extent.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
There's also some names that. Sorry, Kyle. There's also some names that don't get brought up. It's just you see the character. That's who that character is.
Right. Yeah. I don't know if all the Pinheads even get names. I know one does because one is flirting with Frozzo's allowed.
I think all three of them do get names, but what I was gonna say, Brady, was that some of them don't even have names, or some of them they drop once and then that's it.
And that's, I mean, nobody says it after, so
the Pinheads, they are.
Yeah, unfortunately, we will just be calling them the.
Yeah.
So we've met the Pinheads. There's a man who I believe his freak name is Torso.
Yeah, just
which he's Torso? Genuinely, but that's impressive. What he can do.
Oh, hell yeah.
So this man is literally a torso. He has no arms, no legs, but his trick is that he can roll a cigarette with his tongue, light it, and smoke it, all without arms or legs.
He could do anything with his mouth.
It's fucking awesome.
I have a hard time lighting a cigarette with hands. He's doing it with...
To give you a little background on this podcast, Brady struggles to open beer cans.
It's the saddest fucking thing to watch.
It could be, kids be pathetic. That would be, that's our carnival attraction.
The man who opens beers but can't open his own. See him now. His thumbs have eroded over years and years of beer.
Yes. From opening beers and playing video games, his thumbs no longer function.
Yeah. I have no thumbs anymore. Fingers ain't fingin'.
Okay. And then who else do we got to cover? So we've already covered Hans and Frida. Are there any other central people that we have to cover?
Hans, Frida, Frozzo, Hercules, Cleopatra, Venus. Those are pretty much.
I mean, from the freaks.
Oh, from the freaks. Oh,
are there any other freaks we got to cover?
Yeah. Well, there's
also another little person. And there's the Siamese twins.
Yes.
We got to cover out.
That's
because there's a central plot of one of them is getting married to one guy, and another one is romantically attracted to another guy, which I think that's a really interesting...
Mm-hmm. It's interesting to think about.
Moral dilemma, because...
How would you do that?
Yeah.
You marry both, and
that's one option. Yeah.
It's interesting because it's literally two people inhabiting one body.
Yep.
And they're two separate thinking individuals who have their own thoughts and interests.
Yep.
So one person wants to get married to one person, but the other person is not interested. It's a very interesting dilemma for a movie from like the 30s.
Yep.
Darla and Annie.
Okay.
I believe. Well, I know the one's Darla and the other one's Annie. I believe.
That's fine.
The one that's married to the stuttering guy, which I can't remember his name now.
Mainly, I just wrote down the important characters because there's like way too many curios to keep track of in this movie. So, and most of them aren't that pivotal to the plot. They're mostly just like characters in the movie, and then it's all going. The reason they're introduced is so that it can coalesce at the end because they're all part of a collective.
Yeah. Also, I'm gonna bring this up now. So the Siamese twins have the ones like interested in a guy who also works for another circus.
Oh, right.
Like the guy that she's kind of that asked her to marry him.
Yeah, the guy who doesn't suck. Mm-hmm. Because the one girl's supposed to be with the stuttering guy, and he's a fucking jerk.
Yeah, he's a doorknob.
Yeah, well, he's a jerk, and he's I don't like the
Cut of his jib.
and he's a dork.
Yeah. Dirty dog.
He's not a good Porky Pig.
No, he sucks. And then we've got the bearded lady, and we've got the man-woman hybrid kind of thing. So I think that covers all of the central freak adjacent characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, essentially the movie kind of unfolds in like a strange way, like a way a lot of it is just slice of life.
A lot of it is, and that's kind of what I said with the cuts is like it'll show you, okay, these guys are making sandwiches, cut. Okay, these guys are washing them. So it's just weird things, like you said, just moments through the days of each of these people that doesn't really seem to move the plot forward much.
Well, I think it's just to show you how these characters, like I think it's to give the movie breathing room. I mean, this movie's short.
It could have been
But
40 minutes. You know?
yeah. But it's to give this. I think it's to give these to help you relate to these characters, to show you the challenges they face.
That's the part I liked. Yes, is that they took the freaks and they showed each of their disabilities and they showed how each of them sort of gets through their day with those. And that was really cool, especially because it's a movie about freaks and they chose to employ all these real people with disabilities.
And they're the protagonists.
Yep. Yep.
It humanizes a person that wasn't humanized in that time.
Absolutely. I really like that. Absolutely.
Yeah, there's these are literally people who people would walk by on the street and make fun of.
Oh.
Or pay money to look at, to gawk at and be like, oh my God, I can't believe how weird they look, or whatever. And these are our protagonists. And the villains are humans, which is basic humans with all their faculties.
That's exactly why it works. Yes, exactly. I mean, of course it is. Like, not to overstate the obvious, but that's exactly why it works, because we're watching Hans through something this dude has probably done his whole life, right? Pining after a woman who's 5 times taller than him and has no interest, and he could never feasibly be with in that time, right?
Yeah, and it's interesting because I think we talked about this a bit off air. Again, we don't want to get too political, but there are people who sometimes are willing to kind of cozy up to the people in charge, to the establishment, in order to hopefully fit in.
Right.
But it's like you're all targets.
Right. You're all still part of the freaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're next on the hit. You may not be the freak they're going after today, but you're the one they're going after tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, we get a lot of slice of life stuff, and then the plot continues to advance. Frozzo becomes romantically involved with Venus. It seems to be the case.
Seems to be, yeah.
I don't think we ever see them literally go on a date.
Yeah, they have a date. Yeah. He's making a prop, which it's him in the bath.
That sort of becomes the date.
Yeah.
Because she shows up and is kind of giving him a hard time. Like, did you forget about something? You know,
I got a brilliant idea, and
sorry, I got this great bit I'm working on. And the fact, you know what tells you that Venus is a great cat? The fact that she hangs out and hears about the bit.
Yeah.
That's what tells you Venus is a great cat, so that she really likes Frozzo. Because
Cat Venus over here.
yes, absolutely. Yeah, I mean the plot, aside from the sort of slice of life stuff, the plot is very straightforward.
It is.
They slowly plan the murder. I believe Hans ends up kind of breaking up with Frida, which is really sad.
It's super sad.
he says he loves her, and he'll always love her, but then also there's someone better, and that's normal. And I think he kind of gets that towards her because he doesn't want to be with a clean person.
See, I think you think so?
Yeah.
Like he's trying to, you think he's
Because he wants to try to be more normal than...
I think that much I agree with. I think he doesn't want to be one of the freaks.
See,
He would like to not be one of the freaks.
I was sure that he would. I sort of thought he just happened to like Cleopatra because he liked Cleopatra, and it wasn't specifically because she was normal, but I don't know.
Well, just the way, as the movie goes on, the more the movie goes on, the more he's never like he's a bit cruel to Frida,
Bit cruel, yes.
but
cold.
he basically, the thing is he slowly starts to move away from his friend group of his real friends, to sort of try and impress this woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
But he's never offensive or mean that they kick him out. Like they don't kick him out of the group.
Oh, he's
when
just kind of...
when he decides to marry Cleopatra, which is of course her idea, so she can inherit his fortune.
Her and Hercules. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all at the wedding celebration. And that's, of course, where the Google Gobble One of Us, Roy Bus scene comes in.
When they're actually doing the Google One of Us, you can see Hans like putting his hand into his face. I was like, I don't want to hear this. I want to be a normal person.
He's embarrassed, but
Yeah.
And that is sort of the conflict of the movie. And that's where, for the first time, Cleopatra shows her true colors to the freaks.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to say, you're one of us, we accept you, we accept you.
Fuck no.
And she flips out
Yeah.
and says, I'm not like you.
Exactly.
That's the first time they see it. And then you can see it start to dawn in their minds. Even before they found out about the murder plot, they see that she's not who she is trying to portray herself to be.
They know. Yeah, the freaks know because they're all freaks. They know people treat them like that.
Yeah, right. So they tried to accept her into their group, and she rejected them.
Yeah.
And Hans continues to pine after her, but eventually starts to see through it himself to a certain extent. Like I said, this is a short movie.
Yeah.
I think we're already at like 40 minutes into the 60-minute movie.
Yeah, but it moves along. It's a great movie.
I think I really like this movie.
We could skip forward and talk more about how much we love it because it really is a damn good movie.
I think it's just so progressive because this is probably the first time that people who look like this have ever been on screen.
That was what I was wondering as I watched it, and I figured, is it among the first times or one of the first times?
I know that Tod Browning was a successful filmmaker, and this ruined his career.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This movie was put in a vault for 30 years.
Yeah, I know.
That's like a lot of people never seen this.
Yeah, I looked into it after I watched it just because I was like, what the fuck is this movie? But it ruined his career. Like, I knew that this was something that was like hugely controversial.
Oh yeah. This ruined his career. He was a successful filmmaker, kind of just making what you would say like regular, more palatable movies, let's say. And then he read I believe he read the short story Spurs, and then he makes this movie,
Right.
And I don't think anyone ever talks about his other movie. And it was just, but guess what? It's been almost 100 years, and we're still talking about Freaks. Because it's a revolutionary movie. Yeah.
If this movie was made now, it'd probably make a lot of money. But back in the day when disabled people and weren't
just see that. I mean, some people obviously did.
There's a lot of this that still happens. And
It became a cult classic for a reason. Because some people glommed onto it, and other people were like, "Ugh, I don't want to see these weirdos," right?
yeah, we have that now.
Yeah, we should.
We know it's just instead of freaks, it's become gay people. Where the biggest thing is you get so many people raging against Netflix, for example, for having a gay person in their story. It's like, you guys fucking come on.
Get a life. Literally.
But it's the same thing. So I
agree.
see where the first people that maybe started doing something like this, definitely I could see that tanking careers.
Yeah.
Careers.
I mean, because this was like, as we said, about 100 years ago.
Yeah. Wild.
We're literally 6 years away from being 100 years. So 94 years ago was when this movie was released.
That's nuts, eh?
Yeah, it is.
Wild.
Almost right back to the start of cinema. Mm-hmm. So yes, as the plot advances, the murder plot, I should say, also the plot, whatever. Cleopatra is slowly poisoning him. And her and Hercules have concocted this plan to slowly poison Hans to death. And so that people will think he just died of some sort of sickness.
Yeah.
So at this point, Hans is bedridden. And at some point, I believe it is the little person who sees, I think through the window or something.
Yeah.
He sees that when she goes to get him medicine,
because they've started watching her after seeing how she reacted
Yeah.
to them.
Exactly.
They've all started kind of watching her because they don't trust her anymore.
One that probably Hans has been laid out in bed for weeks. Who knows?
Yeah. So I believe the other little person is the one who sees that she's actually poisoning him. She's not getting medicine. She's getting choice. So he lets all the other freaks know that this is what's going on. And then we don't know what they're planning, but it's clear that they're all on the same page about something.
They've all rallied around Hans, and like even I think there's 3 or 4 of them sitting around with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of protect him by being around him most of the time.
Exactly.
Yeah. They're making sure he's not getting poisoned, but like they know
They're watching. Yeah.
they're watching.
Eyes on him. Yeah.
And that's where we get the big moment, because Hans is laying in bed oh, I'm so sick. And then he does the reveal that he's like, actually,
I'm nuts.
yeah. He's like, I didn't take what you gave me.
What's in the bottle, bitch?
Yeah, basically, right? That's what it comes down to.
What's in-
And then she's like, oh shit, the jig is up.
Yeah.
And that's where we get the best scene of the movie. Fuck, this scene rules. Where all the freaks
come out.
It's at we got the pouring rain.
Yeah, and they're all crazy.
As her and Hercules run away and try to hide.
Yeah.
And then everywhere they look, there's another one.
Yeah, that's so cool, hey?
She tries to run away and she looks, and there's like a pinhead crawling under the cart.
That's some of this. That's all right. Yeah.
Okay, a lot of people critique this movie for not being a horror movie. That is the most horrific.
That is
horrific scene.
But I'm glad you brought that up, because there's a debate about this movie where people are like, is it only a horror movie because the people are weird looking? Because the only actual horror element of it, I think it's like I still consider it a horror movie myself.
I do too.
But if you actually think about it, there's only like the end is like the only actual horror kind of part.
But how many movies have we talked about just on this podcast where it's so slow up until the last?
Yes, and also by the standard of the time,
Yeah.
this would have been
the horror movie.
I agree.
People would have pissed shit and came in their pants when they saw this in their all at the same time. Yes, in their cinema theaters.
Yeah. All at the same time.
Hopefully, I hope so. But this scene we're talking about right now is exactly why you know that it's a horror movie. This because from here on it leads up into the ending, and the ending, especially by that time, would have been pretty fucking crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that is, for me, I mean, I'm sure most people would agree, hands down the best scene in the movie.
Easily, yeah.
Because I'm like, I can't believe how menacing this scene is for 1932, Matt. Because it's just one after another as they try to run away.
Yeah.
And there's everywhere they look.
There's more.
And it comes back to that line, one of us. So you've attacked one of us.
Yeah.
So now
Exactly.
we're all after you. It's basically NATO.
Yep.
Really? An attack on one is an attack on all of us. We all go, when one of us gets attacked, we all go to war.
Yeah.
We'll say hands down.
Anyway, yeah, so that takes us to, we don't see what happens to Hercules. Presumably Hercules has been killed.
Hercules is down.
Yeah, what I mean is we don't see his final fate.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Yeah. He did. When Hans is in the bed and the rest of the group are kind of watching him, and Cleopatra's like, oh, it's time for his medicine. Let's, you guys can leave. It's pouring rain, but you guys can hop out and the weapons. They pull like all the...
Everybody's got a weapon, and yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And
Everybody starts polishing their weapons.
yeah. Which is actually really funny. Like, they literally, like...
And then, yeah, Buddy, like, checking his gun, oiling it up, and it's a kind of I was gonna say veiled threat, but not even.
It's not veiled.
But yes, I'm glad you brought that up, because those are all the weapons they have at the end of the movie. Mm-hmm. So it's clear that these people are used to being mistreated and disregarded.
Yeah.
And that they all kind of have a way of defending themselves as needed.
That's part of life for them.
Yeah. So yeah, we were back in the pouring rain. They all kind of were advancing on them, but we don't see what happened. And then it cuts back to the end.
Yeah.
And we see that they have turned Cleopatra into literally a
Fucking freak.
Ruben, and I think that's just so perfect. Me too, dude. Because the one of us, and they literally make her into one of us.
Yeah, dude.
Now you are one of us, bitch.
It's so fucking sweet. Like as an ending to this movie, it's perfect. I loved it. I thought it was so fucking cool.
It rules. But I got to tell you, so what they did to her is I believe they cut her arms and legs off, and they tarred and feathered her.
Yeah, it's what I like the way it looks like. Yeah. If that's what you're saying, like, is that what's in the show?
I believe that's what's. I've only written a synopsis. I haven't actually read Spurs.
Yeah.
I've read a synopsis of Spurs because I was curious about. I'm like, so what happened to her? What did they do?
That's what it looked like it happened to.
Yeah, so I believe they cut her limbs off and tarred and feathered her. So now she's like the human chicken or whatever.
Fucking wild.
It's fucking so. In Hercules, they cut his fucking junk off before they killed him. He was castrated.
How do we know that?
Again, it's not in the movie.
Oh, it's in the.
That's what I mean. It was too hardcore. Obviously, this shit's too hardcore for a movie.
Way too hardcore.
James Wan, if you're listening,
Yeah,
don't remake this movie.
yeah. Like that's why I was curious. I'm like, so what happened to them? Like, what did they do? What happened to Hercules? Right? Obviously, they were attacked, but like, what actually happened?
Right.
And yeah. In my understanding from reading the synopsis, again, I haven't read the story, but the synopsises that I've read, it say that Hercules was castrated and bled to death.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so fucking sweet.
He's fucking junk on. If I were them, or if just cut it off and then like sealed it up, so he's the only freak that doesn't have a wiener.
Right.
That basically, as we said, pretty simple, straightforward movie.
It is.
But a fucking great movie and worth watching. Worth watching for almost 100. For almost 100 years later, this is still a movie worth watching, and I think that's incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was really surprised and happy watching this movie. It was a great watch. Like you said, 90 whatever years, 100 years,
And you're honest, you're out, man.
and it's still it's still saying things that are relevant.
Yeah.
This movie will be around forever. Forever, ever.
It is. It literally will. I mean, unless the United States is obliterated, which because it has been saved into the National Film Registry.
Oh fuck, good.
Yeah, it's one of the films that has been saved into the National Film Registry, which means they will try to preserve it forever, no matter what.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
This is a movie that I think every horror fan needs to watch
I agree, man.
because it's probably the basis for.
it's one of the first horror movies.
Yeah, we did the first like slasher movie.
Yeah.
And now we did the first, probably the first, because the Universal stuff didn't happen for like another couple of years.
This I believe this is before the Universal stuff. The only things that I think are before this, I think Vampire was before this. That's a deep cut though.
Yeah.
And Nanu Laughs, if it counts as a horror movie to you, that was before this. I mean, I'm sure there's probably other things.
Yeah,
I just know the movies I know.
I know a lot of people don't class a lot of the silent film horror movies as technical horror movies, unless it's like Nosferatu but like even those movies aren't really scary. It's just more like a macabre.
But you would have been.
But back then,
Even to think of the scene at the end of this movie where we're seeing her as a little chicken lady, like that would have been pretty fucked up for 1930s. Like that's a
Oh yeah, because you've seen her throughout the movie, and then you see that how horribly they've disfigured her.
Yeah, because
And you know that they did it.
right,
It wasn't like anesthetized.
right.
And then doctors
Fuck, he made it all better.
performed this operation. No, they held her down
Yeah.
and fucked her up.
Fuck yeah, it's sweet. And it's like that's the original Joe scare. It's just a quick cut to that, and you're like, holy shit!
and they don't linger on it either. It's just like it's a flash, and you see it for a second, but that's the opening. It's like literally the guy's explaining this is the most.
I think they hold on her for about 10 seconds, and then that's just the end. Well, I was gonna say, I wish that was the end of the movie. That's actually the end of the story. But unfortunately, the studio thought that was too much of a downer ending, so they forced them to add the Hans and Frida.
Oh, that little bit of
Oh yeah,
Where you see, I'm sorry, I forgive you, and I love you, and blah blah blah. The end.
pass.
Yeah, that scene, I always thought that. I'm like, man, it would have been way better if they just ended on the shot of her. Like, and then it cut to credits. I'm like, that would be, and that's the end of the story.
Much stronger ending.
But the studio was like, oh, that's too, we don't want to send the audience away like that.
Right.
So they made them add the scene where Hans and Frida reconcile at the end of the film.
That makes sense because it felt like that was the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And then that part.
Well, because there's literally, that's the framing device.
Yeah.
And here's the delivery on the framing device.
Start as the end, right?
Yeah, it's bouquet.
Is really, really feels tactile on that last bit. And tonally, it's such a weird shift from how it takes us to the climax.
It's so saccharine. It's so, like, cheesy.
It is. Yeah, it's like backtracking, right?
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's like, it is this strong message, and then was just like, let's pull it back a bit.
Yeah, then that's obviously, again, that was like the studio who's paying for this was like, whoa, we got something away with this. This is too.
The probably, which I'm sure they still do all the time.
Oh yeah, we don't want a downer ending. Fucking Sabin, David Fincher had to fucking trick the studios to let him get that ending.
Yeah,
and Sabin.
You remember that? Yeah,
it's like 30 years ago. But anyway, so I mean, it's not like it's not that far in our past that shit still happens.
Right.
Anyway, let's go final thoughts. Mr. Brady Scissor.
First time ever watching this movie. I knew of the movie, and I didn't know what was going to be going into it. But that opening shot where they have the title card and the hand just goes through and rips it apart, the movie was sold for me at that point. I knew I was going to love this movie. How silly but also like terrifying that would have been. I love this movie. I'm going to watch it again and again. But like, it's such a fun movie. And it's also like you said, a representation of our society now.
Well, and it's just you're in and you're out, man. Like, I'm happy when I see a 90-minute movie. Yeah. About 60 minutes? And it's still a good movie? Oh, man, sign me the fuck up.
Also, some of the Frozo, I almost want to say Frozone, but that's the guy's movie Incredibles. Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah. Frozo has a couple of funny bits, like the tub thing, and then he's trying to show off one of his like bits with like the really oversized thing, and then she hits him on the head, and his head goes in. And it was like that made me fucking actually. Me too. Yeah.
There's some like I don't know if he's literally a clown or if he was just trained by a clown or watched clowns, because his when he's doing his clown thing, he's actually funny. Yeah, he's actually funny and like clever.
My final thoughts are: watch the movie, especially if you're a horror fan. Just fuck off and watch it.
Yeah, I'm straight, man.
60 footer games.
It's man, yeah. You could, I'm like, this is like a little longer than a Grey's Anatomy episode. And guess what? You can shove that fucking 25 or 28 seasons or whatever the fuck that show's at. Shove it up your ass. Speaking of Grey's Anatomy. Anyway, Mr. Mickelborough.
Yeah, it's a short film, but a powerful film. I liked it. I loved it. I wanted more of it. I think it worked well as a horror film. Loved the ending. Loved the story. Good film. Loved it. That's it. I don't have a lot to say though.
I'm glad. It's okay. I'm glad. I'm just glad you guys all liked it. Because I'm like, this was a bit of a like I'd already taken us back to the 60s. But now I'm taking us back to the 30s. So I was like, I don't know how this is gonna.
I was apprehensive.
I wondered.
And like I brought up the way it sort of starts out. I was like, it's just so discombobulated feeling. I feel like there's no cohesion. But once it hits its stride and you get into the story and you actually, I guess I'm speaking more for myself. Once I was able to actually see what the fuck I was watching and sort of got past the age, I really enjoyed it. And it was.
I'm glad. I'm really glad. Because it's not everybody who will be like down with a 1930s movie.
No.
Some people aren't even down with a 1980s movie.
No, I would say that's almost worse. And the difference is that seeing an hour and 4 minutes, I'm like, even if it sucks, I have to for the podcast. But if I was just going to watch it, curiosity would get me into an hour-long movie much faster than it would like a 1980s hour and 40 minutes slasher film or something.
Yeah, I know. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Honestly, with a lot of like the more modern slasher films, I'd rather watch this. Because a lot of them are just the same thing. The kills aren't like realistic as they like. This is real.
Well, and this is something that's unique, right? You don't see a lot of this as far as horror.
Well, there's only one death and it's off screen.
Yeah, and then when you talk about 80s slashers, we've seen those 1,000 fucking times over and over and over through the years. So certainly it's it can be more jarring because of that fact.
Yeah, I think this is a singular film. I don't think there's any movie quite like it.
Yeah.
Like, like it or don't like it. I think I don't really think there's anything like this movie.
No, and that's just further puts it into the watch category of like, if you like, sure, if you'll like it because it's so old, hey, you're only there for an hour.
Yeah.
And you won't see anything quite like it. Yeah.
Think of it as like, how many times have you been watching a show and like, that episode wasn't that good.
Exactly.
This is like, that's how long this entire movie.
Yeah.
So you don't like it. Boom, you're in, you're
By the
out.
time you finish your popcorn and pop, it'll be over.
Hell yeah. I think we basically covered it. I think this is a singular film and it's a one of a kind. And I just think that's really cool that almost 100 years later, I don't think there's been a movie like this. And I just think that's fucking really cool.
It is. It is definitely cool.
Because we've all seen a shit ton of movies, and I can't think of a single movie that is like this.
No, and I couldn't imagine someone trying to touch this and do a remake or another version.
It's like a Casablanca or Citizen Kane level movie. It's like if you tried to remake this or make a sequel, fucking you do it at your own peril, my man.
Exactly.
Just leave it alone.
This will be as is untouched for a long time.
Yeah. Anyway, that wraps us up for our episode on Tod Browning's Freaks. And as episode 40 comes around the corner, we are on to our next conversational episode. And we are going to be, as you may have noticed, there are some nerds on this podcast.
There's a couple.
Bunch of nerds. There could be at least three.
There's at least three.
There's at least three. So yes, being the nerds we are going to be talking about sort of the back and forth parallel between horror video games, horror movies, how horror movies influenced horror video games, and then now in the age of Resident Evil, Silent Hill, and so on, how the opposite effect has sort of gone the other way. But we'll see you in
7 days.
and until then,
Keep your eyes open.
and we're out.